Hello everybody, I'm excited to see you. So I am back today to do a layout with kind of a funky picture as well as a scrap lift from Scrap Squad, and I'm doing it today for the collective. We like to do that on a Wednesday. So let me first show you what I'm going to be scrap lifting from the Scrap Squad. You see that one? Look at it, has just the tags, pretty basic around the outside with some outlining. So that's what is there, and I'll be looking at that while I scrapbook. I'm going to be using the Pinkfresh collection Case of the Blahs. With this being my background paper, which felt a little bit like a sacrifice because I liked some of the things on this, but I do have a pretty full collection pack right here, and I also have all of these stickers. I don't think, nope, I haven't used any of this yet. And in fact, I had to even open up this paper pad that's right here to get papers out for the tags. So the three papers I'm going to be using for tags are these three. It's a really nice bright green. We have tan with a little bit of a darker pumpkin orange, and this washed out denim blue. My daughter's wearing a very vibrant blue, but what the picture is really about is these marks that she has on her back. She had to go to her trainer today, and he said she was having a back problem from lifting, and he said if her back wasn't feeling better by today, he was going to do cupping on her, and he did cupping on her. So had to document it because you can see like the circles, right? But they were so upraised and warm, and yeah. So you have to document these kind of things. All right, so I'm going to do that. Now in this kit, and I have most of these die cuts. And the alphas I know I have are right here, but I don't know. I'm probably going to go back in my handy dandy little box. Yes, look at how fancy I am. For the collective, I still just have everything in my box. I'm going to see if there's enough alphas. I think the Christmas collection in here has alphas that would match. Yes, it does. See these alphas right here in the collection? I'm going to see, let's see. C-U-P-P-I-N-G. Yep, I can spell cupping with that. So I'll probably use that for my dimensional alphas because there just aren't any in this collection that I got from my warehouse box. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap lift that fun layout, and I'm going to fast forward it so I can just do a voiceover while we go through it. All right, here we go. But so this is kind of fun because I feel like I haven't sat down to do voiceovers in a hot minute. So it's kind of like playing with a new toy when you haven't done it for a while. So you know the usual, I cut off the branding strip, and now I'm using my little Creative Memories trimmer to trim the photographs. I print on a Canon Selfie, so they're like 4.5 or 4x6-ish prints, but you know, then I size them down and blah 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 blah. I mean, the most common size that I use are the two, like almost 3x4 prints, so that's the most common size I use. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of sizing these tags based on the size of the photographs. I knew that I wanted them just a little larger than the photographs, and I will be using 5 tags altogether, I believe. So I think it's 2 green, 2 blue, and one of that tan and orange tag. And then I'll go ahead and back my photos and all that kind of stuff, but you'll see that part. So I did go ahead and start working on turning each of these little tag shapes into tags, and I'll go ahead and take my large hole punch and punch the tops, and then I will also go ahead, I think, and get the strings in. I decided to go ahead and outline them quickly. That was also in the scrap lift, that they had the tags outlined as well as having the background paper was outlined, and it kind of brings it all together, like like it's all matching. I mean, it's all the same collection, so it does work well no matter what. But it does bring it all together and adds just a little bit more of a homemade touch to it as well. So those are outlined. I outlined my background paper and I put black and white twine, matching twine for the string and all of the tags. And now I'm trying to decide how I want to go ahead and back my photos. So while I'm deciding that, I decided to go ahead and attach my tags, and they're just going to be, kind of staggered, no big direction, no big plan with that. So right after I started putting the tags down, I realized in the scrap lift it had a pretty strong amount of a kind of a diagonal dimensional set of stars, and I didn't want to use stars on this layout, so I thought I'd use this really thick gold paste. I think it's a Vicky Bouton paste. So I went ahead and did that. So it's going to bring your eye pretty directional across the page. And of course, I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I'm just going to zip right ahead because that that is in my nature to want to just go ahead with my layout. So I'll have a little cleanup to do here and there, but it just adds to the appeal a little bit. Or at least that's what I'm going to tell myself. So I have my tags lined up. I have my mixed media going. So now I'm going to address these two photos that I have here. Sorry that you're getting a little bit of glare on the photo on the left. I'm doing my best not to get that paint all over everything, or the texture paste stuff, but I will. It'll get all over everything. So I'm going to do a nice simple backing of these, and I believe the photo where Ryan is turning around looking at me, I'll also pop that up on dimensional foam. All right, so we're putting that up on foam, and now it's going to be time to see where I'm going to want it to lay on the layout. Does anybody else have to lotion their hands constantly when they're working with paper? I hate when my hands feel really, really dried out, so you might see me do that a lot. I have a Lazy Susan to the upper right corner on my desk, and I have different little bits and pieces that I'm trying to work through, but 2 things of hand cream are definitely on there. So right there I just got gold mixed media onto my T-square, and it's going to kind of get here, there, and everywhere, but that's all right. That doesn't bother me. That is fine with me. Making sure that at least that photo right there is pretty square, and then I'm going to start figuring out which die cuts are going to work for this layout. So I'm going to go through them for a minute, and I'm also going to get the word cupping out just to decide where I'm going to want it, because I'm not quite sure yet where that's going to end up. So I've auditioned different die cuts all over my layout, and we're going to see how it's going to go. I will pop up several on dimensional adhesive just so that I have some differentiation. I right now have a pretty flat layout aside from the photo, and I definitely want to get as much texture as I can because I think it keeps things interesting. I mean, the mixed media is nice, even the shine of a photo, as well as the baker's twine that's on the tags that's giving you different textures. But I do tend to, yeah, I'm once again, more is more. I want shiny, I want flat, I love fabric, I like the wood letters, all that kind of stuff. If I had puffy stickers, those definitely would have gone on this layout, which I do have from Pinkfresh, an older collection with puffy stickers in it, but that was not part of the warehouse box that I got from them, so I did not include it. I'm trying not to bring in too much outside of what I received from that box for the time being, as I'm working through the stash. So I did go ahead and put the arrow pointing at her back in that chartreusey kind of a color, and I'm popping up these or I guess a bunch of symbols. It's not just exclamation points. But I'm going ahead and popping those up, and those will be going on that nice bright green tag, but it'll also overlap onto that denim color. So it's kind of bringing it all together as, I don't know, I guess in a way it's a band design. What do you think? Janet, are you watching this? Is this a band design? So it's a band design if we decide. It's just a little bit cut up in between. So I'll go ahead and get a little adhesive on this arrow because it is going to be partially resting on the photograph, and the photograph is popped up. So I had to do the same for the right side of that little arrow. And so I'm looking at these cardstock stickers, seeing if anything's going to work. And you know, anytime you look at another set of ephemera or stickers or whatever, there's always something else that you want to add on, especially when it's all one collection, so you know it's going to match pretty darn well. So that's all I'm doing there, and you know, this layout is not going to have much more going on with it. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and use the alphas that are on the back of it to spell out Ryan's name and the date to bring a little bit more really strong black on. Okay, friends, this is done. I'm happy to say I love the way it turned out. I like the bold pops of black. I also like that I was able to use this slightly tricky collection to highlight a slightly tricky situation with my daughter's back, and she's fine. You know, she pulled a muscle lifting. She, you know, it's athlete life. Anyway, but I do think that the addition of this cool Vicki Boutin's, what is it called? Creative Effects Gold Glaze. I think that it does add a nice little bit of bringing it down like on a diagonal, a nice direction. I was able to use these little letters I had for my Christmas kit, so that's cool. And I did make sure to bring the black around and kind of so it drew your eye in a little bit of a triangle around this photo. The only other thing I think I'm going to do is grab my bin of enamel dots. I have a bin right here. And I'm going to go ahead and see, oh, like, look at this right here. Oh my goodness, look. Okay, I totally didn't mean to do that. It looks like I had the collection of the Pinkfresh Case of the Blas enamel dots from a different time, one of the first times I had the collection. So I can clearly use these to bring it around. Now, I didn't use any of this yellow in here at all, but I did use this bright green that's kind of extremely a bold green, and I also like, so I have, let's see, so I think I'm gonna kind of do orange. Let's do orange here, and I can have a little cute baby orange over here. Let me try to put more of a medium green down here, going around my daughter's name a bit. I can do a large green there, so it's bringing the green really nicely. And then we'll put the baby green over here by the date. And what other color would I like to use? Should I use both shades of the green? See, I didn't use the yellow, otherwise I would definitely go there, but I didn't use anything that I would consider yellow, unless, do they consider this, like the chartreuse color, to be the yellow? Maybe they do, because I don't think there's any like lemony yellow in this collection. I don't know. I'm going to go with both shades of the orange. I think that's the executive decision that I'm doing, and I'm not that concerned about it. So, let's see. Let's see, I have boom, boom, so I need a middle orange. I want to get a nice little triangle a la Chamel, so maybe I'll go right there. So it'll highlight this little word do-over. All right, so that is it for this layout. Kind of funny and fun that I had these the moment I pulled out my little box of goodness. So that's it for my layout. I really like it. I hope you did too. So there's a couple other ladies that are doing the collective along with me. Go ahead and take a look for them, and be sure to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and come back to my channel shortly because I like to bring in new content. I'm also doing a little bit more of some lifestyle idea stuff on my channel, which was my original plan. I just love scrapping so much that I really have been concentrating on that, but I'm going to start veering off and bringing some variety in. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.